All right, welcome back to the shop. I'm Brad. This is the Rare Breed. We are back from our trip to Kentucky and Tennessee. We'll Windrock. Now just unpacking everything. We got home late last night. Unpacking all the tools, and I've got a noise coming from the front end of the Jeep. It's in the steering. I'm hoping it's just my track bar maybe came a little loose. And anyway, we're gonna retorque that now, and hopefully that fixes the issue. If not, I'm gonna have to get into the joints and everything and make sure everything's tight. Weird, I didn't notice anything on the trail at all, and even loading it on the trailer, I have to kind of work my way around that driver's side fender to get on the trailer. And so I'm turning the wheel back and forth, and I didn't notice any noises or popping. But getting it off the trailer last night, I noticed it. I mean, really just fine movements causes a popping noise. Unfortunately, I don't have any help today, so I don't have someone to get in the Jeep and steer it back and forth while I get under the front and try to diagnose it. But I'm gonna start with the track bar and we'll see where it goes. All right, I'm gonna start with this bolt to the axle. Both the bolt to the axle and to the frame are 110 foot-pounds. I've got torque strike on everything and nothing appears to have loosened up or moved, but gonna start here and hopefully this resolves our issue. Oh, it was loose. It definitely moved. So, I hope that was it. Gotta get a wrench on the back side of that one. That one was definitely loose as well. An issue I see is my coil perch under compression. I'm bumping into this Steer Smart brace, sector shaft brace, and I can't help but wonder if maybe that's causing some issues, but I don't know. We'll get in the Jeep and see if I still hear the noise. Nope, still there. That's not good. All right, well, I'm gonna continue to troubleshoot and see what I come up with here. Gonna be a little difficult by myself. All right, so my brother stopped by yesterday and was able to help me figure out where this noise is coming from, and it's definitely appears to be coming from the hydraulic ram. I've got some spacers inside to shorten the stroke, and I don't know if they're binding or if, as I was wheeling on the trip, my clamp shifted or something. Basically, this isn't
you know, obviously you want your ram as close to parallel to the tie rod as possible to keep it from binding. And it's not perfectly parallel, but it's you know, it's fairly close. And the issue is so it wasn't doing it before the trip. And like I said, I didn't notice any noise getting on the trailer. It's just when we got home. But it definitely sounds like something's binding in here. So I'm going to have to do some adjusting and see what kind of clearance I can get. Because obviously when I'm fully locked to the driver's side, this bolt comes awfully close to my diff cover here. So I'm going to have to see if I can adjust it and get it a little more parallel. If that's not it, I might have to take the ram apart and see if my spacers are somehow binding. There's no gouging or anything on the shaft. So anyway, I don't know, I'm gonna troubleshoot a little more and see if I can't get this noise to go away. The other thing I noticed is I've got a little play here in this joint. So I don't know. I mean, you think this thing's basically done 2 wheeling trips since I installed it, and I wouldn't think that joint would wear out that quickly. I know there is quite a bit of pressure on it, but I don't know. It could have something to do with my spacer in there. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But anyway, I'll check back in a little bit later and let you guys know what I figure out. All right, so I'm gonna relocate my clamp to hopefully free up this hydraulic ram so that it maybe won't be binding. I'm guessing that's what's causing it. Again, I don't know why it all of a sudden started when it was working fine previously, unless the clamp shifted on me. It doesn't appear to have shifted. All the knurling is in place. There's no evidence that it moved. But anyway, also while I'm under here, I mentioned that my coil perch is hitting my sector shaft brace up here. So I'm gonna take a die grinder to this and kind of work out this area, so hopefully I can gain some clearance there. I'll throw some Loctite on this nut once I get it where I want it.
gonna snug it up right now and cycle it, see what happens. All right, the binding is gone, and I verified that I'm not hitting the differential cover at full lock, and I verified that I could go lock to lock. I mark off where the center line on my tie rod here to make it a little easier to reinstall. But anyway, going to get some Loctite on all these and snug them up. All right, that's gonna do it for now. Got some some maintenance to do. I need to check my diff fluid. I was in a bunch of water on this trip, and I'm gonna check, make sure that my vent hoses didn't leak or anything. I definitely don't want any water in my differentials. Gonna grease everything, and should be ready to go again. Thanks for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, comment below. Thanks.